October 20th, 2005. I'm Jake Tapper, and this is Nightline. As gas prices explode, coal is back after decades of mine closings and layoffs.
Some miners moved. Some got other jobs.
Through the 40s and 50s, we were the jewel of north central West Virginia. And when coal troughed, we troughed with it.
We actually thought that coal mining may be a dying breed.
But with a legacy of danger and disaster, the industry has failed to attract younger workers and seems unprepared for this resurgence.
I don't think a lot of people seen it coming. And now it's here. It's real.
Back to the future. Coal and energy in America. This winter, your home heating bills are likely to go through the roof. That's a result of Hurricanes Katrina and Rita, Mideast turmoil, and a number of other forces. But whether those various factors are heading in from the Mississippi Delta or Saudi Arabia, they seem targeted at your back pocket. To be perfectly honest, energy policy may not always seem the most compelling television. That's reflected by our country's lack of a coherent national energy policy, the need for which is the only issue both Democrats and Republicans agree upon. But oddly, so many of the stories of real-life people that surround debates about energy policy are among the most compelling in film, song, television, and theater. The men and women who fight and die in wars fought in no small part over fossil fuel. The families who uproot themselves in the dream of striking it rich by drilling for oil. And as country singer Loretta Lynn reminded us, the arduous, dangerous, dirty work of coal miners. A few years ago, a lot of us thought of coal miners as an endangered species, somewhere on the professional relevance chart between horse and buggy makers and the manufacturers of player pianos. That's no longer the case. U.S. coal production is projected to break records this year, 1.14 billion tons, more than we've ever mined in the history of this country. So coal mining is anything but dead. But do they know that in coal mining country? Here's ABC News correspondent Laura Marquez.
This is a scene played out across central Appalachia every day. Jimmy Toothman is getting ready to go to his job at the West Virginia coal mine, where he's worked for almost 25 years. But what makes this scene unique is Jimmy's 21-year-old son, Jonathan, is going to work with him at the same coal mine. For the first time in more than 2 decades, the coal industry is hiring again. It's just after 6 a.m., and father and son are on the road, making their 30-minute drive to the rural Blacksville 2 mine.
It's a pretty early day, isn't it? I never like to be late for nothing.
What kind of company is John?
In the mornings? He's quiet in the mornings.
Jonathan is the 4th-generation coal miner in the Toothman family. His 72-year-old grandfather, Mel, retired 7 years ago after working side by side in the mine next to his son, Jimmy.
What was that like for you, having your son with you?
Well, it was nice. It was good. Good feeling to know that he was with me, you know, and helping each other out.
But Jimmy Toothman never thought he and his son would have that same opportunity to work side by side, helping each other out.
We kind of missed a generation or two as we hired. We've had so much evolution in the technology and mining that we've been able to do more and more with fewer people.
So many coal mines have shut down and other mines laying off. I didn't think he'd ever get a job in mines. All of a sudden, bang, it opened up.
What happened was after years of falling or flat prices for coal, the demand in both the U.S. and China went up, fueled by rising oil prices. At this mine alone, run by Consol Energy, 4 million tons are produced a year. But the increased demand comes at a time when the workforce is aging. 60% of Consol's coal miners are at retirement age. That leaves the company with the monumental task of having to replace more than half its workforce, thousands of employees with decades of experience.
Morning. Morning.
To train new employees, Consol Energy reinstituted the Red Hat program, which pairs up new hires, the one with red hats, with more experienced miners, to teach them the tools of the trade, and most importantly, how to stay safe underground.
Because if you just come in and there's nobody else there to train you, then you're not going to learn anything. You need the older men to show you how to get the different ways of doing things.
Jimmy Toothman was the last Red Hat hired of his generation. His son Jonathan is now part of the new Red Hat team.
Time goes by a lot faster underground than it does up here. Because up here you see the sun come up, you see the sun go down. Down there you don't see it, it's just all dark. You don't keep looking at your watch. It goes pretty quick.
Jonathan knew what he was getting into because of his family's ties to the mining industry. But other young people may shy away from such a tough job.
Have you ever considered going into coal mining?
Not really, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's kind of a dying industry around here.
Mining myself, for a summer maybe. I don't think I'd want to do it as a career forever.
Not only is the job physically demanding, it's dangerous. In the history of this country, 100,000 miners have been killed and thousands more injured in cave-ins and machinery accidents. Another 100,000 miners have died from black lung disease caused by breathing in coal mine dust.
This is the old number 9 mine community here. If everybody remembers the 1968 Farmington number 9 mine disaster.
Jimmy Toothman is reminded of that every day because he drives right past the site of one of the country's worst mining disasters.
About 5:40 this morning, there was an explosion in number 9 mine, located here at Farmington of Mountaineer Coal Company.
68 miners were killed. 19 of them are still entombed, buried in the rubble of the collapsed mine shaft. That disaster was instrumental in getting new laws passed to make mines safer. Also, in recent years, ventilation has improved underground.
Now, for the first time in maybe 20, 25 years, the coal industry has not only got the help wanted sign out this year, we're going to have that help wanted sign up for a decade.
For the Toothman family and so many other miners, the money is what lured them 800 feet underground, a $50,000 salary to start with benefits. That's nearly twice as much as the average family income in Appalachia. Still, energy companies worry about filling all the new jobs.
We know we have our work cut out for us, and we're going to have to step up the frequency of job fairs that we attend and upgrade our recruiting materials and do a great selling job, because anybody that wants to come to work for us wants to know, can I make a career of this?
This is the way all the coal comes out of the mine in Blacksville.
While the rebirth of the industry is providing new job opportunities, it also may signal a boon for the entire Central Appalachian region, whose once struggling coal towns are counting on one of the country's oldest industries to lift them up into the 21st century.
When we come back, a community adjusts to its new fortune.
I never thought in my lifetime I would see news articles about shortages of coal mines and shortages of coal and shortages of coal miners.
This is ABC News Nightline.